So it's the weekend. Make sure you tell a friend. Make your finances, yeah, we got it on demand. Always a guest coming through. Words just drop, better catch it, this for you. Bridging the gap, and you know this. Life and wealth remain focused. Comes homes and plays, cause we chosen. Prosperity, you know it, we for it. So when we live, better tap through while you can. Ain't no stopping what's already in the plan. Show be lit from start to end, tune in. Got what you need, so tune in. Wilson and Wilson weekend. Wilson and Wilson weekends. Wilson and Wilson weekends. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So it's the weekend. Make sure you tell a friend. Make your finances, yeah, we got it on demand. Always a guest coming through. Words just drop, better catch it, this for you. Bridging the gap, and you know this. Life and wealth remain focused. Comes homes and plays, cause we chosen. Prosperity.
Yo, good people, what's happening? Listen, good evening, good evening, good evening. Listen, it is super, super, super. I am super excited, you guys, to be with you again for a Sunday night conversation. It is a Sunday evening conversation. Listen, it is not every day that I get to talk to, I call it family. And I think somewhere down the line with cousins.
Yeah, probably is.
Not every day that I get to talk to family, and I am super excited to listen. I had to talk to a friend about business, about life, and so much more. Listen, you guys, before I bring him on and I give you guys the bio and all the other fun stuff, you guys already know what to do. Please like, tag, share. Tell somebody Wilson Weekends on the air. Listen, you guys, I am super excited to talk to my good friend, my brother, Brandon Caldwell. Listen, we grew up together. We did school together.
Horton Middle School.
Okay.
Northwood.
We're gonna get into right. We're gonna get into that. I got a throwback, and I'm gonna throw it. I'm gonna throw it that he has no clue about. So we're gonna have to chop that up as well. Listen, you guys, I am super excited. Listen, before we jump into conversation, listen, you guys already know what to do. Welcome all to a Sunday evening edition of what Wilson and Wilson Weekends.
Already.
Turn up. Listen, here we go. I am super excited, you guys, if you cannot tell. So before we have conversation, you guys already know what we do first. We got to go talk to Jesus. Come on, let's pray. God, we thank you, Father, for this conversation. God, we pray that you be in the center, God, of everything, God, that is going to happen, God, all that we're going to discuss on today, God. We pray, God, that even in this conversation, God, lives are changed, God, that souls and minds, God, are renewed, God, that information is being sent out, God, that people are receiving knowledge and wisdom on today, God, that your will shall be done in us on this earth, and we give you praise for it now in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Listen, you guys, I am super excited. Listen, to give you guys just a little bit about it. Now, I was going to read the bio, but I'm not going to do that. We're going to let him bring himself on. Listen, you guys, listen, I have the honor and the privilege again, the Brandon Caldwell. So, again, if you don't know him, you're going to get to know him today, and we are going to chop it up about life, about mortgages. He's a mortgage loan officer.
Yes.
Mortgage loan originator.
Yeah. Broker, whichever one.
So, listen, you guys, we are going to come and chop it up. So, listen, Brandon, for those that do not know you, sir, who is Brandon Caldwell?
Brandon Caldwell is just a regular guy from around the way. A lot of y'all have probably passed me in your grocery store and didn't even realize what you were looking at. Just as normal as you, anybody else. You know what I mean? Nothing special. Just, a good guy trying to help people get to where they want to go. That's really it. Yeah, man. I've been through Sanford, Chatham County. Those of you who know me, I went through the school system in both places. I was a kid once. That's all I'm gonna say. We ain't kids ain't always nice, you know.
Come
But I'm grown now, and we're different. So let's keep on rolling.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So listen, I don't know why this thought came into my head.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go hit you with the thumb back.
All right.
Okay? I don't know why this thought came to my head earlier today, but I began to think about us as we were growing up in school and
Right.
everything else, you guys. So listen, Brandon had, I don't know if you remember, Brandon had what I call a chant. I'm gonna call it a chant now.
Oh man.
And it was because he did it just at random. And we were walking down towards the bus. I remember this clear as day. We're walking down towards the bus, and out of the blue, Brandon starts this little rhyme. Do you remember what that rhyme was, Brandon?
What, the flea fly mosquito
exactly.
thing?
Right.
And that took it back.
Yo, I thought about that earlier today.
Hey.
I was like, yo, I was like, Brandon did that whole flea. Flea fly. Flea fly mosquito. Flea fly.
Yeah. But they ain't ready for that one. That's an insider right there.
I thought about that. I was like, yo.
Yeah, I do remember that. Hey, look, I started thinking, what could he have to throw back for a man? But yeah, I do remember that. That was good times, man. Good times.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you've been through life, and I mean, as we were talking off air, life is life, and we grew up in families and everything else. So congratulations on the granddaughter.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, I'm excited about that too. Thanks, man. I'm excited about that too. Let's be honest, y'all. At first, I was not. Okay, like nobody wants to hear that their little girl has gotten pregnant, you know. But it happened. She's here, and she's the prettiest little bundle I've ever seen in my life. So you know. That's cool.
She's spoiled.
Yes, she's definitely spoiled. And anytime she sees me, she thinks I'm supposed to buy her chips or candy or anything like that, which I definitely do. And I probably should not. But here we are.
So what did you get called? Are you Papa? Are you Grandpa? What are you?
Well, she's only 2 right now. So
Okay.
I just, she just kind of comes up to me smiling. And she'll say, you know, I want to be a Papa. But we'll see what she goes with when she's old enough. You know what I mean? We'll see what she goes with. I don't really have a preference, I guess.
I mean, hey, no. It's one of them. Whatever you call me, as long as you call me out of respect.
No, yeah, I'm okay.
You know, we ain't got no issues there.
Yeah, as long as you don't call me out my name or nothing crazy. Yeah, we good.
So you are doing mortgage. You're a mortgage loan originator, or broker. So how did you? So backstory before we go into the weeds about all the house stuff and everything else. How did you know that you wanted to like pursue that field?
Okay, well, at first I actually thought about being a realtor, and I realized that the realtor field was a little oversaturated, so to speak. Like there's a lot of realtors, you know. You have some good ones, then you have some bad ones. You know, we all know that. You know, so I wanted to be a little different, and I have a good friend of mine that's actually been a mortgage loan originator for 30 years, and he was the one who actually gave me the insight to try being mortgage banking. So, you know, dealing with him and a couple of other people. That's in the field brought me to this point now. He actually coached me all the way through. Like he still coaches me sometimes if I get a file that I just don't know, you know what I'm saying, what to do. He'll be the guy to let me know.
He's
like, yeah. Hey man, look, can you take a look at this for me?
Yeah.
We'll sit down and we'll go over it. He'll tell me what I need to do, and you know, so basically it was more of a mentor thing that kind of walked me into it. The realtor thing would have been cool, but I can help a lot more people here. Does that make sense? Because I'm trying to figure out how to say it. So as far as a realtor, realtors can show you houses. They can tell you what the better option is for selling your house.
Okay.
A mortgage loan originator can tell you how much house you can afford.
That's good. Come on.
And they can also where somebody doesn't feel like I'm ready to buy a house right now. A mortgage loan originator can show you differently. You know what I mean? Like I can literally show you how you are ready to purchase a home. And that's what I like to do. I actually specialize in low income and the lower credit people. Now, don't get me wrong. I would love to get those people with the 750s and
Of course.
yeah.
Absolutely.
But if I can help somebody with a 600 credit score get into a house, I feel like I get a little more satisfaction out of that.
I like it.
Does that make sense?
I like that.
So yeah, that's. I'm actually finishing my first year in the field, and I'm more in love with it now than when I started. So I love it.
I love that. I love the fact. Hey, Pastor Fran, how are you? I love the fact that you said that you broke down the difference between a mortgage or loan originator and a realtor.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, one, don't know it.
Yeah.
And they automatically, if you're thinking of buying a house,
they think realtor.
You're not thinking. I'm not thinking anything about a mortgage or a realtor.
You're right.
And so coming from, because I used to do mortgages. I was credit union for 10 years.
Yep.
So I wrote mortgages.
Yep. All day.
And so I originated the mortgage from the credit union perspective.
Mm-hmm.
So I did something a little bit different than what you do.
Yeah.
But you take it a step further and say, okay, you know what? I'm actually willing, and I'm going to show you options on terms of how you can get to where you need to be for the house. Now, at the same time, I definitely want to throw this caveat out there. You guys, if you, and I'm going to put it out here, no shade to anybody. Listen, your job is your job. You do what you do. However, but if you're working at, say, McDonald's and you make $750, you can't afford a $350,000.
You just can't do
it. The math ain't math.
Yeah, right. And and that's a lot of times what I see from people, like they skip the part about the interest rate. You know what I'm saying? So when you put they see the math, like they go on Zillow and they be like, you know how it is, and you go on Zillow and you see this house and it's like the payment will be $900 a month. Okay, but you haven't factored in your mortgage insurance premium. You haven't, you know what I'm saying? You haven't factored in all this other stuff for the interest rate being 6.5%, 7%. You haven't factored in all that stuff. And so a lot of people get blindsided when it comes to buying a house because they think, well, they said the payment should be this. Well, Zillow is not really a bank, and they don't really know what your payment is going to be. You know what I mean? They don't know. They just there to tell you in a 30-year mortgage, your house should be right around this much.
Wow.
But they don't really know. You know what I mean? Like, that's why you need people like us,
right,
to help you. You know what I'm saying? And who wants to? I work with 25 different lenders.
Okay.
All right. So, like, you worked at the credit union, so you understand. It's like with the credit union, you're limited to their product.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So with me and my 25 different lenders, if let's say the credit union is one of mine, the credit union don't like your file, that's fine. We'll pull it and take it over here to BB&T or Truist. You know what I mean? Right. So it's just one of those things, like, who is the best for this situation, for this client? And Zillow doesn't provide you that.
Oh, so in my opinion, Zillow is a good place to, I'll say, dream.
Yes.
It's a good place. It's a good place to dream. It's a good place to look at it and go, okay. Oh, this is a pretty house. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Great features, this and that. But like you said, they don't show you the ins and outs of
the buying process.
Of the process.
Yeah.
Right. It's a great spot. It's like here we go. It's like a vacation.
Yes.
It's like I'll say a vacation, because you can go on vacation and okay, great. I would love to go to Aruba.
Yeah.
I would love to go to the DR, Mexico. I would love to go to Fiji.
Yeah.
And everything else. But okay, if I'm looking on Expedia and I'm looking at these hotels, these resorts, okay, great. All that is wonderful. But until I actually click the dates I want to do,
you're not going to know what that price is.
Right.
You're not gonna know. Yeah. You haven't got the flight. You haven't got you haven't figured out how you're getting around when you get over there.
Right.
You know what I'm
That
saying?
part,
So
right.
like all of this stuff is part of the picture that people seem to miss sometimes. You know what I mean? So anytime where I can get something like this, where we can come out and try to help educate people that may or may not know. Some people, I've found this out too since I've been in the industry. A lot of people think they know more than what they really know.
Come on.
And it's really hurting them. You know what I mean? Like, so a lot of people, I've been hearing a lot of people like, oh, well, the housing market is going to crash and the rates are going to go back down to 1% again and 2%. I'm like, dude, if you think these banks is going back down in that gutter to do that again, you're highly mistaken. No bank is out here to not make money, people. I'm telling you, they're not out here to do it. They're going to make their coin, whatever that is. You know what I mean? So just please get that out your mind. If you like a house and you're able to get one, go and get it. You know what I'm saying? So that's all real talk.
I like it.
Yeah.
No, I like that. So how do you know if and when it's the right time to buy a house? Because you said something in the beginning. You said something earlier about everybody can get a house.
Right.
Right. But for those people that say, well, I like renting simply because if I rent, there is no there's no maintenance, so to speak, or I'm not responsible
for the maintenance
on said property. All I have to do is call my landlord, boom, it's done, I'm good to go. Versus if I buy, then I'm responsible for the hot water heater go out or something. Yeah,
that's true. So with that being said, I would ask people that most of the time when people are renting, I ask them, so you said you could call your landlord and he would come fix it, right? Mm-hmm. When the last time you had a problem, how long did it take your landlord to get there?
Ooh, that's good.
You see what I'm saying? Like I have people that say, shoot, man, my heat went out and my landlord brought me space heaters. You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't come fix the heat. They just brought me space heaters. Well, you can do the same thing in your house that you pay. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's, so, and the way I try to tell people, and some people may agree, some people may not. As far as buying a house, let's say you move into an area. If you plan on being there for 5 years or more, you should buy a house if you're able to. The reason being, if you think about it, so you move into the house, let's say you buy it for $200,000. By the time you leave, the price has gone up. So now, not only are you've been living here for 4 or 5 years, the price might have gone up $50,000. That's your $50,000. You see what I'm saying? You know, you done built equity in the property. Yeah. You know, you've already paid X amount of dollars towards this loan.
Right. Yeah.
All of that stuff comes together. So when you put this house back on the market at $250,000, and then somebody comes and gives you $260,000 because you got in a bidding war, where you got $60,000 in profit. Well, technically 65 because you probably paid off X, you know what I mean? X amount of dollars out the loan. Yes. So, as far as buying a home, I try to tell people, man, especially if you have a career or you have a long-term job, you know, anything, because that's your ability to repay. You know what I mean? Like you're a cop. You know you're going to be on the force for at least 10, 15 years.
That's right.
Now would be the time to go ahead and purchase you a home and start building some equity in this property. Because then you can use that to leverage other things down the road. Does that make sense? Like you might need a loan, get a HELOC to fix the house.
Right.
You got equity in the house, you can do that. You can get money out. You see what I'm saying? It's just different ways to go about it. It just depends on what you can and want to do. How it works. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's dope. So okay. So if you are, we talked about it a few minutes ago. Interest rates.
Oh yeah.
Interest rates are so important to pay attention to, because I look at it kind of like I do a car loan.
Yeah.
Right? Most people don't look, when it comes to buying a car, they don't look at the interest rate. They look at the features of the vehicle.
Yeah.
Some people may look at the motor and all that other stuff, how fast, whatever. But most people look at the price, or excuse me, the payment of the car. They don't look at the maintenance.
And how much they're going to have to pay. Yeah.
Right. So like a Lexus. A Lexus is a beautiful vehicle.
Yeah, it is.
But the maintenance on those vehicles is high.
Yeah.
Same with any BMW, everything else.
Yeah.
Like they are gorgeous, amazing vehicles.
Yeah.
But the maintenance, you're going on an oil change alone.
100 and something, for maybe more.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, do I really want to do it? And then I'll take it a step further and I go, well, what's your motive?
Right. And that's definitely a good question. So interest rates. Mm-hmm. Let's all be honest. We know they're a little high right now.
They are.
Now, but if you look back historically, like I'm talking about like the last 10, maybe 15 years, actually they're not. So, and I'm going to explain to you why. I bought a house. Me and my wife, we bought a house in, I want to say, 2017.
Okay.
In Carthage Colonies, right here around the road. When we bought it, we got it for $180,000. Pretty cheap, right? Yeah. 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. Okay. Real nice house. The thing of it was, I got it at the interest rate of 4 3/4.
Okay. Yeah.
It was like 4 3/4 or something like that. And at the time, a friend of mine who was building his house, like right down where I'm currently staying at, I think his interest rate was like 4 1/4 or something like that. It might be reversed. I can't remember the exact numbers. But basically what happened was right before then, the interest rate was coming down. You know what I mean? Like the interest rate was already at 6-7%, and it was on the way down then before the crash happened.
Right.
So like if you look back at 2015, 2016, the interest rate was already at like 6-7% at that time.
And
you see what I'm saying? So really, if you look at it, the crash that happened because of due to COVID, the 2% and all that stuff that people got great interest rate.
Yeah.
And let's be clear, everybody. I'm not knocking anybody for getting their house at that point. You made a great move.
Absolutely.
And there's no reason for you to sell if you don't have to. Okay. But for the people who did not, 7% is not a terrible interest rate. Okay. It's high compared now. And I think that's what hurt a lot of people, because they see their friends bought a house at 2% or 3%. And they thinking that, well, why can't I get this same thing? Well, your friend just happened to be ready at the perfect time.
Right. Right.
It's not their fault that you were not at that time. You okay? So when you're looking at it, 7%, is it high? Yeah. But historically, like I said, it is not. That's why I say, I think, me personally, when I look at it, I think that the interest rate is settling back into kind of what it used to be. Like, the between 5 and 7%. Great credit get you 5%.
Yeah.
Decent credit, you be somewhere in between. Low credit, you're gonna be closer to 7. You know what I'm saying? It's just how it was shaped up. You know what I mean? So, the only way to curb the interest rate is hopefully it will go back down and closer to 5s, maybe. But you can't bank on that right now, because like I said, the bank spent so much. People bought so many houses at 3% that, you know what I'm saying, the bank is just like, any bank I talk to, you know what I'm saying, like any of my lenders, they like, If we go back to 7%, we'll close our doors first. Well, if we go back to 3% or 2%, we'll close our doors first before we start doing loans like that again. But it's because they're not making anything. You know what I'm saying?
The world we live in.
That's the world we live in.
Like, if you're not making money,
why are you doing it?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And that's why I keep trying to explain to folks, like, it's not going back there unless we have another pandemic, which, you know, it could happen. You know what I'm saying? But the bank is not looking for us to have another pandemic like that. And they're definitely not looking to go back to 2 and 3% on mortgages. No. They're not looking to do it. The 2% is where they make their money at. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, they want 5 and 7%. They want 15. Right. You know what I'm saying? But I think 5 to 7 is a good settling point. You know what I'm saying? For them. You know what I mean? So, not to say that it won't go any lower than that, but I think the days of the 2 and 3% interest rate are done. You know what I mean? Like, it's over. You know.
So here's another thing. Here's another thing I think is important to definitely look at. With that, and that is, thank you. Down payment, money, the good faith.
Yeah.
Thank you. The good faith money, the earnest money.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes.
The earnest money, the down payment. So it's one thing to look at. We'll go back to Zillow to look at the price of the house, to look at everything else there.
Yeah.
But then having to, here's I think another thing that people miss or don't look at, the amount of money you have to come up with.
Yes.
20% down, I believe.
Yes.
In some cases.
Well, that is the good thing about having a guy like me.
Come on, talk.
I rarely, since I've been in this, I have not had one person to have to put down 20% on a mortgage loan. Not one person. And I'm going to tell you why.
Come on.
FHA,
yeah,
they only want 3.5%. USDA wants nothing. VA, same thing. They only want 1%, which is not even technically a down payment. It's a funding fee. You have so many different programs right now where you do not have to come to the table with 10%, 20%. The only people that really usually have to come to the table with that kind of money is investors. And most of the time, it's all about the money for them anyway. They're not about to live in their house. Right. So, you know, it's one of those things like 20%. Now that is out the window. You won't have to see 20% down payments. 10%, you won't even have to see that. The most I've seen had a person have to pay was maybe 4%, and that's only because they had to fix a couple things, you know.
Yeah.
But the 3.5% was the down payment. They just had to have a little extra for some other stuff, but you know, without having to go into details on their stuff. But you will not have to put down that much money. Now, will you have to bring some money to the table? Absolutely. You're going to have to bring something because the down payment and the closing costs are two separate things. And let's talk about that. So a lot of people think that the down payment and the closing costs are kind of like interlocking.
Yeah.
They're not.
Okay.
They're literally two separate things. Like you can literally have to pay your down payment. You might not have no closing costs. You might have a no down payment, but you might have to pay closing costs. It just depends. They're two separate entities. Okay. Down payment is literally the money that's coming, that they're taking that off the top of the loan. Okay. You put $200,000 down, 3.5%. What's that, like $8,000, give or take? So you might bring $8,000 to the table, and we might find a way to do your closing costs into the loan. You see what I'm saying? Or we might find a way to the seller might pay your closing costs.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? There's different ways to deal with it, but the one thing the seller can't do is give you the money for your down payment.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So the down payment itself is, it has to come from you. Or, you know what I'm saying? The people who are borrowing the money to buy the house. It has to come from them. The seller cannot give you concessions towards your down payment.
Okay.
The down payment is Like, okay,
it's for you.
Yes, like let's put
it secures the fact that you're going to live in that house.
Exactly. That is basically you saying, I'm going to buy this house.
Right.
And if I decide to back out, you know what I'm saying?
I'm short.
I'm short out this money. You see what I'm saying? So, like, you know, that down payment, yes, there are ways to get around the down payment. All right.
I like that.
Like you can get a relative. It has to be, well, they have expanded it now to where it can be an aunt and uncle, you know,
like gift you.
Can gift you that money. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Or it could be, you can get a grant from, you know, some government agency. There's ways to get around the down payment thing. Okay. They have down payment assistance. I actually have down payment assistance. Now, when you have, what you also have to understand about down payment assistance, they control the money. Okay. When you're asking the government to not only let you get this house, but will you also give me the money to put down on this house?
Right.
People have to understand they're going to dig in your business.
So I'm gonna stop you right. I like where this is going. I'm gonna stop you right there. I'm gonna get you to answer a question we have on the board.
Okay.
Because I definitely want. I'm glad you went there.
Yeah. All right.
We're definitely gonna chop it up. So the question, while I have you, Brandon, the question is it better to use equity for rehab and stay in your current home, or to put it on the market and start over in a newer
home? Say it one more time. Let me make sure I understand the question properly.
Is it better to use equity for rehab?
So remodeling, yeah.
Okay. And you stay in your current home, or should you put it on the market and start over in a newer home?
That honestly depends. So it's really a question of, are you happy with the mortgage? Are you happy with the house itself? Are you happy with, you know, the situation? Because sometimes using what you already have can save you a lot of money. You see what I'm saying? So if you already have a house and, you know, it fits your needs, you know what I'm saying? Right. You're okay.
Right.
You can renovate it and you can make $1 to renovating it. You see what I'm saying? You can live like that.
Right.
You have to understand what you're asking though. Cause like, if you want to buy a new house, there's other stuff that comes with that too. You see what I'm saying? So if you already have a home and you're comfortable with it, everything's okay.
Right.
You might just need a couple of fixes here and there.
Right.
Rehab it. Okay. Rehab it. Save that money. You know what I mean? Because what exactly are you sure that the house will sell?
Oh.
You see what I'm saying? If you put it on the market. Wow. You see what I mean? So it's a lot of unknowns right there when you're talking about rehab versus buying new. Because I actually know a friend of mine, they was in the same situation and they put the house up for sale and they didn't sell the house for like 8 months. You're on the hook for this house for the 8 months. You still got to make the payments. Yeah, you still got to make the payments. You still got to pay the light bill. You still got to do all this and keep the stuff on until this house sells.
All while searching
for the new house.
A new house and trying to
put the money into that. You see what I'm saying? Like, so that's why I try to tell you, it hurts. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you gotta make money to be able to do it on both ends.
This is one of them situations where you actually have to make 3 times the mortgage. You see what I'm saying? Because you can't afford to make this. Let's say your mortgage payment at this old house is $1,300. Just, you know, round figure. Right. Yeah. $1,300. You ain't talked about the light bill. You ain't talked about water bill. You ain't talked about maintenance and you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Because the longer you let that house sit there, you know, houses go down. You know what I'm saying? So you can't just let it sit there. People have to be kind of moving around in the house to keep it going. You know what I'm saying? So you can let it sit there on the market let's say you let it sit there for a year. the person moves in, or a person actually comes to try to buy it, and they want you to put a new roof on the house.
Because the house is set there.
That's your money.
So,
You see what I'm saying? That's your money. Unless you tell them no, and then now you might lose the deal. Because they want you to do a roof. You won't do a roof. But see, do you see what I'm saying?
Like, case, you're the landlord, like the rent.
You're the landlord. You have to pay for this stuff. You see what I'm saying? So, like, that's why I tell people, if you're comfortable in the house that you're in and you want it rehab is, I think personally, always going to be better than buying new. Do you understand? Because there's a loan to get your house renovated. You can get $50,000 to renovate your house right now. You can't get the money to pay that mortgage while you waiting for somebody to come and purchase your home.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You don't get that money back. That's just the L you took.
This is good. This is good. I'm enjoying this conversation. Yeah. I really am. Listen, good evening, you guys. You guys are just now joining. Listen, I say this every show, and I'll say it again. If you're just not joining this, good evening, but you're late. So you are on with myself and my good friend Brandon Caldwell, who is a mortgage loan originator, and available to help people right here in the Sanford area and other
North Carolina. Period. I can go anywhere in North Carolina. I'm working on Virginia and South Carolina, but right now, anywhere in North Carolina, I can help you out.
There you go. So it's anywhere in North Carolina, he is here and can help get you a house. I'm in this, and good evening. I'm just now coming to realize something. So I've been in my house it's 8 years. I've been in my house 8 years.
Okay.
And so it's amazing.
Yeah, you should have some good equity.
So being a homeowner
right
is rewarding.
Yes.
However,
it
being
is challenging.
Somebody who never rented, I never rented.
Yeah.
My wife had an apartment. She rented. So got married, moved in with her, helped her with her rent. Right. But never actually doing rent myself, because for the longest time, my line was, and I'll say it publicly and openly, I can. I always told people, it's like, oh, you can move out your parents' house and go get your house. No, I'm allergic to rent. And that was my mindset. That was my thought. Because I'm like, if my parents are willing to let me stay home,
then why would you?
And do and live and be, why would I go throw money away on something that I'm not going to get?
Save that money.
For those that are renting, I do your thing.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Live your life. Do you. Nothing against that.
Absolutely.
However, you should always want to find yourself in a position of wanting to buy.
Right.
So I'll ask you this, sir.
Absolutely.
Why do people not want to buy?
Okay. So I'm actually in the same boat as you. I rented. I did rent one time. One time, probably the worst experience I ever had. I would never do it again. So some people, like you said before, I think you touched on it before. A lot of people don't want the maintenance responsibility of a house breaks down. Now, let's be honest with ourselves and everybody here. If something breaks in a house, sometimes it can be pretty costly. Okay. Mm-hmm. We know that. It's the same thing for the landlord, which is a lot of reason why when you tell them XYZ is broken, you may not see them for 4 months. So, that's why I tell people, and that's not to say that every apartment complex or every, rental house, the landlord is like that. Okay. You might have some great landlords out there who you call them and they show right up, but playing the odds, most of the time, they're not going to be at your beck and call. And then on top of that, I've just never been a fan of having people on top of me or below me as far as making noise and stuff. Like, I work a crazy work schedule. So when I'm at home, I need my quiet at this point. You know what I mean? So I've never been a fan of having people living above me, below me, beside me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I prefer just to have my own chopped out space for me right here. That's me. Now, some people, and this is another thing, what I said about the 5-year thing. Mm-hmm. If you move to an area and you're not planning to be in the area anywhere from 3 to 5 years, like you planning on being there for maybe a year and a half, yes, renting is your definite best option. Okay. Nobody's going to tell you anything different, I'm sure. But if you're planning on being there long term, yes, if you're in a position to buy, you definitely should. They have all kinds of programs out here to help with those kind of fixes. You know, if something breaks down in your house, you know, they got what's the thing called, the home warranty thing. You know, they have stuff out here to help you with stuff like that now. So
I like that. I'll say a caveat for that one. Yeah. I'll jump back to something about down payment assistance with the warranty companies, the extra warranty companies. Do your research. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. And also, if you have anybody who's currently dealing with one of these companies, or you know, can give you some real insight into how they operate, definitely pay attention, because everybody's not lying. You know, so like I'm telling you, so yeah, definitely do your research and look into the company before you just pick one. But,
because a lot of people just look at, and again, I'll say it because I know it may be repetitive, but a lot of times people tend to focus on how much it's going to
cost number, yes,
and they don't look at the ins and outs.
Yes, absolutely.
Warranty companies,
that's how they get you.
It's like they'll give you a lowball price per month, but then what you don't fail to do is, okay, say the here we go. Thank you. Say the element in your oven goes out. Right?
Yeah.
But not the entire oven. All that means is that your oven will not heat because it needs that heating element in order for it to work.
Right.
Right. So if that goes out and you call this said company, again, there's so many of them out here right now. But if you call whatever company that you're calling and you say, hey, oh well, I need my oven replaced. My heating element went out. What they'll look in their fine print, mind you, which they already gave you, which is in your contract. Yes. Please read your contract.
Please.
And it'll say this applies, excluding ...
Yep.
So you have to really pay attention to these things before you agree to sign up for these things. At the end of the day, listen, you guys, I'm doing this for information. And if you want to sow or anything else, you definitely can. But I definitely I believe in giving our information. To help, because with these companies, at the end of the day, the person that's selling you X, Y, and Z for that particular company, their job is to sell it to you so they can get paid.
Money. Yeah, exactly.
Period.
It's not to help you. All right. Let's be clear. It is definitely not to make sure that you're good. All right. It is to line their pockets and have to. Prime example. My aunt, you know, not the one I stay with in Jonesville. So my aunt, she actually has one through a company. I can't think of the name of the company, and I won't put them on blast. But she struggled with them so much over 6 months, just over a water line in her refrigerator, that it was just sickening. You know what I'm saying? Like they literally had to come out and fix this water line 3 times. Now my aunt's like 80. You know what I mean? So it's not like she can just get up and do it herself. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's something that she really needs them for.
Right.
Please do your research, people. These people are snakes in the grass. Now, will they come and help you? Sometimes, yeah. You know, they'll come and help you. It might be 6 months. It might be 6 months. It just depends. You have to make sure you're dealing with somebody you can trust. I won't even say trust, because that's one of those words that's really thrown around loosely nowadays. So I'll say somebody you can deal with their stuff up to that level. You know what I mean? You can deal with them, you know, because trust is a real hard thing to establish with a company like that. You know what I mean? So you have to know what you're getting yourself into and whether or not you can deal with it.
And so the thing with these companies as well, and I there's a company that's in my head again. I'm being nice, you guys.
Yeah,
y'all know I love you. I ain't gonna put you. I'm not gonna put them on blast. I will not call you out publicly.
Yeah.
But even with these companies, when you call these companies, you have to be mindful. Again, that's why I say with contracts, because there may be a service fee attached to them coming out.
Yep.
And you're thinking, well, hey,
I pay for
X
this
amount
every
of
month.
dollars a month.
Yes.
But all you're paying for is a service.
Yep.
But it has to meet certain deadlines, certain criteria, certain parameters in order for it to actually hit, in order for them to say, okay, yes, we will replace or fix XYZ. That's why it's all good. Listen, shout out to all my shade trees.
Yeah.
Shout out to all my shade tree mechanics.
Yeah.
My shade
for
tree
sure.
plumbers. All you people that do your stuff on the side and know what you're doing.
Yeah.
I applaud you. I salute you. And we say thank you.
And we still need you.
Absolutely. Please don't go nowhere.
Yeah,
okay?
Absolutely.
Because what you do, you are legally doing it, but you are helping so many people save money.
Yeah.
And you're teaching at the same time.
Absolutely.
So it definitely pays to do your research. It pays to know who you're dealing with. Yeah. Do your research on the company.
Yes, because I'm going to tell you one other thing too. They're not selling you the service, actually.
Come on.
They're actually selling you, quote unquote, peace of mind.
Ooh.
So if you think about it, they're not really selling you a service. The service that what you're paying for month to month is the peace of mind to know that you have somebody to call in the event that something breaks down. They haven't really charged you for the service shit, if you think about it. You know what I mean? Because I mean, it's going to be, like you said, the service fee. Oh, it's going to be $80 for us to come out and take a look.
Right.
They haven't fixed anything yet. So what exactly are you paying for? You're paying for the peace of mind to know that you have somebody to call, quote unquote, to fix this or that problem.
Right. And then I look at it from this perspective. If you're selling me peace of mind, then how do I exactly have peace of mind?
Yeah.
If I call you and you charge me and you still haven't fixed my issue the first time, it's a mind thing.
It's a mind thing.
It's a mind thing.
Exactly.
That's what it is. That's
a mind thing.
Scam. It's a mind
thing.
To say, okay, here we go. I'll bring it into 2023. It's just like dating. You meet somebody. And your job, your assignment, your role, your goal is to say all the right things to say the individual to try to get to know them better.
Yeah.
To try to take them out. To try to sleep with them.
Get that second and third date
that you might try and do with.
Yeah.
Right. So it's all of that instead of pure intentions of saying, you know what, hey, I like y'all see. They don't do nothing that we used to do back in the day in school. Nobody does the whole little thing with the slide paper.
Everybody got cell phones.
Shake yes or no.
Yeah.
Nobody did it.
They got cell phones now.
Right.
So,
now people slide in DMs.
Yeah. Snapchats and stuff.
Hey, yo, shorty, what's up?
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
Yeah.
So it's the simplicity of this thing of a life, I'll call it. And especially now, I know I've been on a tangent, but I'm gonna come back. Down payment assistance is so important when you can get it.
Mm-hmm. Now, okay, so let's touch this down payment assistance thing. You can get down payment assistance, like I said before. The problem is when the government is holding the bag, they're just not going to release it. They are going to dive into your business. And like I'm talking about stuff that you forgot that you did 10 years ago. They will have questions about it. I'm telling you, I just did one with a client of mine. Shout out to Down Home Real Estate, my homegirl Trina Donaldson and Crystal out there. Yeah, Crystal Towns. They doing their thing out there. They help me a lot. She can tell you. We did a loan together. Man, when I tell you this might have been the hardest loan that I've ever attacked. And it wasn't because the borrower was a bad borrower or, anything was wrong with the file. It was simply because
they asked for so much stuff.
They asked for so much. I'm talking about stuff that on a regular FHA loan, I could send your file through and I would never hear about it again until it's time to close.
Right.
Literally every other week, there was something wrong with this file. You know what I mean? And I'm talking about stuff that when I sent it for a regular loan, they was like, yeah, this is great.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you're talking down payment assistance, like I said, you're asking the government to not only give you the money to buy your house.
They want to know what you know with the money.
You see what I'm saying? You're also asking them to give you the down payment for said house.
Right.
So you're not even bringing the down payment
to the table.
Right.
You're
asking for everything.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So, and that's where a lot of people get it confused. Like, oh, well, I should just get down payment assistance, but it's not that easy. You know what I'm saying? You can get it.
Right. But you got to be prepared to open up your life.
Yes.
June 22nd, 1975.
You know what I'm saying?
I went to the store. I spent $2 and I bought a pack of bubble.
You have to be ready. You have to be ready for that. And a lot of people aren't. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Do you remember exactly what you spent on your credit card 5 years ago at the store? You see what I'm saying? A lot of people don't even realize you forgot. You know what I'm saying? You forgot. You out here living your life and you're like, you know what? I make good money. You know what I'm saying? I've been at my job for 3 years. Maybe it's time for me to buy a house. You ask for down payment assistance, I'm telling you, they're going to dive into you so bad that some people feel like they want to just not do it no more. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how invasive down payment assistance can be.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's worth it once you get
through the hoops. You're a homeowner, problem solved.
Right.
Everybody's cool.
Right.
The problem is getting there.
Yes, sir.
And now let's be clear. In any time that you're getting ready to do a mortgage loan, they are not easy, people. They are not easy. They're going to ask you questions that you feel like. And see, the problem is me being a mortgage broker, that puts me out front. So a lot of people feel like I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? They like, man, why you asking me for all this? You didn't. What you have to understand is I'm not asking you for all this. I don't care. Okay? I don't care. I'm trying to help you get into this home. You know what I'm saying? This is what them being the lender, the bank, is asking me to ask you for. Because they're not going to call you and ask you. Like,
no,
they don't really care either. You know what I'm saying? So this is my job to make sure that you have what you need when you have to stand in front of these folk to get them to give you your house. So like I said, it's a lot better to just save up your down payment. Like I tell people, $250,000 on a mortgage or on a loan, it'll be like, I think, what's that, like $9,000, and that 3.5%. If you can save up mostly roughly 10 grand, you should be able to get the down payment for anything just about that you would like. You see what I'm saying? Absolutely. Unless you're talking about, $500,000 house, or, everything goes up from that point. But $250,000, like I said, is roughly $9,000, give or take a couple $100. You can pretty much get anything from $250,000 to $300,000. Okay. That's just a good ballpark. A good ballpark number. Gotcha. You know what I mean? $10,000. That's a good number to save up and have available if you're looking to buy. Okay. I like it. So another thing I'm gonna touch on right fast, and then we're gonna get out of here. Yeah. It is credit. Oh, okay. It's important to understand credit. It's important to know what to do with your credit. It's important to know how to navigate in the credit arena. Listen, if you do not know you need help with your credit, contact me and Wilson Consulting. This is what we do. Yeah, we can help you all restore and fix what's going on with your credit as well. Absolutely. So why is it that people figure, okay, I got a 6. Here we go. I'm gonna bust this up. Yeah, bust it up. Okay, Credit Karma.
Credit Karma shows you two things.
Yeah.
You have TransUnion and you have Equifax.
Yes.
That's what they show you.
Yeah, because Experian is its own thing.
Correct.
Yes.
And so people look at these two and they figure, hey, TransUnion say I got a 650, Equifax say I got a 710.
Yeah.
So, and I made good money. I'm ready to go buy a house. And listen, you guys, this right here applies for cars as well.
Yes. Yes. Let's get into it.
You cannot go off of those numbers.
No.
Those numbers are not, hear me. I've been doing this for a little bit. I kind of know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Not bragging, I'm not arrogant.
Yeah.
I'm giving you
just
knowledge.
saying. Yeah.
These numbers are not your actual credit score.
Look, I tell people all the time, and if anybody's watching on this podcast right now who's actually got a loan from me, they can tell you. Anytime you're looking at Credit Karma, Credit Sesame, any of that stuff, take off 20 points. 10 to 20 points, take off 20 points. I say 20 because I like to, let you know, like, look, they're going to be off. Credit Karma, Credit Sesame, all these different places, they only update once a month, maybe twice.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Your credit score literally changes every day. Okay, the stuff that you do, credit hits on your credit, all of that stuff changes every day. Credit Karma only is going to check it once a month. So that's why your credit score, you see 750 or 700 on your thing, but it didn't tell you about this credit card payment that you didn't pay last week that is not going to come out until next month. You see what I'm saying? Now, when I run your credit on my mortgage, on my stuff, I'm going to see that credit card payment that you didn't pay because this is right now. This is real time. Right. You see what I'm saying? Right. So, like, I've had people tell me, no, that ain't right. That ain't right. Well, you should probably call Capital One and get it fixed out because right here on this paper, this says that you didn't make the payment for June or July. You see what I'm saying? So now you have an issue. You know what I'm saying? Now you're 60 days late on a credit card that you swear you're not 60 days late on. Credit Karma ain't never told you nothing about that. Credit Karma ain't never told you anything about that, but I can see it. I got it right here. You know what I mean? So yes, Credit Karma, any of those sites, man. And let's be clear. I do use those.
They're good resources.
They're good resources. I do use them. Like, so this is what I use just in case. So if a person comes to me and say, hey, I want to try to get a mortgage, I ask them what their score is on Credit Karma. So if they say like, oh, I got a 710 on Credit Karma, I already know they really mean 690. You see what I'm saying? Or that's what I'm taking away from it. They say I got 710 on Credit Karma, you got a 690. Ballpark figure.
Right.
Now, if I pull the credit and it's actually a 710, even better. Right. But you have to play it. You have to play it that Credit Karma hasn't updated yet. So they haven't seen something that I might see. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I have to look at it as. And that's where I take it. So that's one of the hardest things to explain to people. Like, well, dude, my Credit Karma says I got an 800 credit score. What kind of liabilities do you have though? Like, what kind of, you know what I mean? Like,
what's your debt to income ratio?
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Like, if your debt to income ratio, if you're really maxed out on all your credit cards, like, yeah, you're paying the payments and you're doing what you're supposed to do, but you don't have any space. You don't have any space to put anything else. And that's what a lot of people don't understand as far as when it comes to credit. And another thing too, scores, okay? The scores are only indicative of, I'm trying to figure out how I want to say it. So you have trade lines on your credit. You have trade lines. See, you have some good trade lines and you have some bad trade lines. Do you understand? Sometimes you can have an 800 credit score and get denied a loan for a house. A lot of people do not believe that. That is very, very possible. And so if you have an 800 credit score and let's say your longest trade line is 6 months.
Come on.
You have to have a trade line that's longer than 12 months.
So do me a favor. Explain what the word trade line
is. And look, that's what I was thinking. I was like, dang, I wonder if so a trade line on your credit report is literally any line that you see on your credit report. They're called trade lines. Like I'm talking about your car payment, your mortgage payments, your car insurance payments, anything that you can see on your credit report, that is called a trade line. That's how we determine what kind of credit you have without looking at your scores. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Like I can look at your score and see, oh, they got 800. Yeah, but now I got to dive into it and see, like, is it a legit 800 or is it really like a 620 with makeup on? You know what I'm saying? Like, and a lot of times it'd be a 620 with makeup on because you got a credit card 6 months ago. You maxed it out. You paid it off and did the little jump thing, but the credit line ain't long enough. It hasn't been there long enough.
It has not been established.
It hasn't been established yet. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they just, you have to understand. Credit is only as good as how you use it, and how you can't abuse it. That's really it. You can't abuse it. So if you got a credit card, that don't mean you can go out and, you know, go on a shopping spree and buy all the clothes you can. You know what I mean? That means buy important stuff, gas, you know, stuff that you know you're going to need, and pay it off. You know what I'm saying? Or at least pay it down. You do want to have it. You see, you a banker. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So pay it down, because a lot of times people think when they see that they have, and I've been a victim of it myself, not realizing. Like, this is when I first got into the industry. I got a client. They had real good credit score. I'm talking about 700s across the board. I was like, this is easy money. Yeah, we finna get this loan done. They denied it. USDA. It was a younger couple. It was a USDA loan, and like I said, I only need 640 to get you through on a USDA loan. They had 700s. I'm like, this is perfect. You know what I'm saying? What I didn't look at, and this is like, I was still a real rookie at the time. I seen the scores. I seen, you know, all the credit. You looked at a credit report, paid, or paid as agreed.
And everything good.
Everything looked good. What I did not look at was the time on the credit line. So literally, they had just got this credit line 4 months ago, when it went down and it shot their credit back up once they paid the bill off. You see what I'm saying? So, and I didn't look at that. That's why they called it thin credit. At the time, I didn't even realize exactly what thin credit was. I thought good credit score,
come on,
good, you know, good job,
right?
We got a loan, right? No, there's a lot of different little things in there that we have to check for now. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, 12 months, you have to have at least 2 of them that's good for 12 months or longer. Now, if you have derogatory credit, let's speak on that real quick before we go. You have to have 12 months reestablished credit, okay? So let's say, remember that credit card that I was talking about earlier, where they forgot that they didn't pay it 2 months in a row. All right. So July was the last time that you didn't pay, like you started paying it back in August. You got to go 12 months. So really, that next July would be when that derogatory credit goes. Well, it's not going to go away, but I can overlook it at 12 months. Okay. You see what I'm saying? Right. I don't have to pay attention to that if it's been 12 months or longer since that derogatory situation happened. Now, does that mean that you're good? Maybe, maybe not. It just really depends on what else you've been doing in that year. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you've just been paying that bill and, you know, throwing everything else away, you're probably going to be in trouble. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. But like I said, credit is one of those finicky things, man. That's just like
You gotta know what you're doing.
You just have to know what you're doing,
and
man.
if you don't get somebody that
knows what they're doing, yes.
In a nutshell, don't be afraid to ask for help. We as people, and I have you guys. I'm gonna bring.
We mean black people too.
I'm gonna bring Brandon back for part 2.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because there's so much more that I want to get into.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But we have to be mindful that it's okay to ask for help, and don't try to automatically do everything that you know how to do.
Right.
Yeah. There are a bunch of resources out here. I'm not gonna go through the names of all the resources, but there are a lot of good resources. There are a lot of bad resources that seem good.
Google is not a good indicator of anything mortgage related.
You heard it first.
I'm telling you.
You heard it first.
Stop looking at Google and Zillow and looking for answers to your questions. Zillow, if you look up Zillow as a company, they are not even they're a real estate entity, not a company. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So they're like they're realtors. You know what I'm saying? They form Zillow. And then now you have
they built a website and did everything else.
And now they have Zillow home loans that they just did. You know what I mean? Not too long ago. Yeah. Off of Zillow though. But if you notice, you're not going to Zillow and they send you to a different place.
Because you can't physically go to a Zillow. Zillow is not a physical spot. You can't go to California or Raleigh. Hey, where you going this weekend? All right, listen, I'm going to Zillow.
Yeah.
It don't exist.
It's not a thing. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I keep trying to tell people. It is. I mean, like you said before, that was the best one I've heard. It is a dream. It lets you see houses that you can potentially get, but basically their job is to get your mouth wet. Their job is to get your mouth wet, and then you jump out here and you try to contact them like, hey, I want this house right here. Do you know that they don't even make money as far as a website if you don't travel to that site? That's right. They can't make money. You know what I'm saying? So they have to put something on there for you to be there and travel there and use their site, because otherwise they really don't get paid. Right? You remember Zillow actually a few years back before the pandemic, they tried the Zillow home loan thing, right, and it went belly up.
Yeah.
That's why. They couldn't make the bread. You know what I'm saying? Like they thought they was going to be making it like hand over fist. Yeah. They was like, hey, shoot, we can put the houses up and then they can contact us for the loan.
People ain't stupid.
People ain't dumb. Well, some people.
Yeah,
I was about to say some, but you know, and not, listen, this is not to say don't look at Zillow, okay?
Right.
Or Realtor or any of those things. Right. What I'm saying is understand what you're looking at and understand that find you a realtor that you trust.
Thank you.
Find you a loan officer that you trust. Because all those people are there for is to make money. That's it. They don't care. If the loan falls through, they could care less.
They're still gonna sleep at night.
They gonna sleep good. You know what I'm saying? But somebody like, you know, my people, like I told you about earlier, Trina or somebody like that. I've literally talked to Trina over that deal that we did, and she was literally in tears because everything was going bad. You know what I'm saying? And I couldn't explain it to her. Like, this is my first time in the situation too, so I was kind of lost myself. But that's what you need, people like that who really care about what you're doing and what, you know, how can they help you? You know what I'm saying? Like, some of these people are here to make money. Some are here to actually serve you and help you go on the right path. That's for you to figure out. You know what I mean? There's the buyer, the person selling, or whatever. That's for you to figure out. Like, when people come to me, I have a group of realtors that's, you know, that I would tell you, like, look, you need to use this person. You know what I'm saying? But I don't use them unless I know for a fact that they got your best interest at heart.
Come on. So
you see what I'm saying?
Find somebody that cares about
you. Yeah. Because I mean, it's too many people out here that, let's be clear. it's always going to be about the money. All right. It's always going to be about the money. But you don't have to be a bad person to make the money. Does that make sense? Like you can still be a good person and make a living and feed your family.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying?
On,
like you
on,
don't,
come on.
you know, one thing I've had to overcome, and a lot of people, I don't know whether they know or not, but there used to be a guy in Sanford that used to do what I do, and he actually got locked up for it.
Okay.
So I've been trying to fight the stereotype. Like a lot of people, like you probably just like him. No. If you're my client, I care whether you get this done or not. That's just I'm trying to figure out when I got in this game, nobody told me any of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody told me that about the credit or about any of this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I literally had to find out on my own. So with me going through that, I wanted to help mainly our community. Because from what I see, and this is just pure math that I'm about to spit out right now.
Mm-hmm.
The housing market, 70% white homeowners, black people, 30% homeowner. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
They're up here, we're down here.
Absolutely.
I want to close that gap a little bit.
I like it.
You know what I'm saying? I want to close that gap a little bit, but we're not gonna be able to if you don't reach out and help somebody. You know what I'm saying? That's why people like you with these podcasts and, you know, reaching out to people and talking to people. I'm only here to help you guys. Okay. I still work. Like Thomas to tell you, I still have a regular night job that I work. I'm only here to help us. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times it be us that it seems like that's getting the short end of the stick on a lot of times when we should be the long stick in the pool. You know what I mean? So, you know, let's just work with each other, you know, and you don't have to pick me as your loan officer, okay? Pick a loan officer that cares about you and wants to see you in your property and doing good, okay? Because most of them, they're just banks.
Wow. I love it. There you have it. There you have it. Listen, Brandon, how can people find you, follow you, contact you, sir, and keep up with you?
Well, I'm on Facebook, Brandon Caldwell. Simple. I actually have my email is bcaldwell@glorymortgage.com. And I also have a website. It's actually under construction right now. So right now, the only thing that can be done is apply for a home loan. So once I'm going to put some more information on there and some more stuff. It's www.teamcaldwellmtg.com.
Is that right?
Yes, sir. That would be it. And yeah, man, I'm not hard to find, man. A lot of times I'm right here in town. So if you out and about and you run into me, don't be afraid to speak. I will speak back, and I will take a little time to talk to you if you have a question. So yeah, I'm not hard to find at all.
Awesome. Listen, absolutely. Listen, you guys contact. You need a house. You need a home. You have questions.
Yeah, I was about to say, and listen, don't feel like there's no such thing as a dumb question as far as this real estate thing, because the general fact is a lot of people don't know until they ask, but they're afraid to ask because they don't want to be labeled dumb or like. No, there's no dumb question. Just ask me. The most I can tell you is I don't know.
Right, and then
researching, I'll get back to you. But you know, and no, I do not know everything about the mortgage industry. I do not know everything. What I know, though, I do know. And so, with that being said, I will try my best to answer your questions. You know, if you want to help getting in the house, cool. If you want me to just check behind somebody that you're dealing with to see if they, you know, if they're doing you right, I do that too. So I'm here to help people. I just want to help y'all out. Hopefully get my brand out there. Maybe in 10, 15 years, maybe I'll have my own mortgage brokerage. If not before, but yeah. But that's what we're working for. And like I said, I want to close this gap a little bit, man, because there's no reason some of us should be staying in apartments if we don't want to be. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Listen, you guys contact Brandon today for all of your needs. Brandon, I do want to put this out. What is your number if people want to?
984-77-085. Yes, that is my direct line. I answer it almost 98% of the time. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I do. I answer, but I'll call you right back. Leave me a message.
Awesome. Cool deal. Listen, you guys. Listen, Brandon, it has been absolutely awesome, sir, to have you here in studio with me.
Yeah, man. Anytime, man. We go way back.
We gotta do this again. Yeah. I want to get you over. I'm working on some stuff for 2024. So definitely we'd love to have you in person. In like a panel type of environment.
Oh man, yeah.
To do an educational session about this very thing. To help educate and strengthen our community, sir. So
absolutely, man.
You on that one. Listen again. You guys contact Brandon and get in touch with him today for all of your mortgage needs and more. Listen, do you want to pray us out?
I'll let you handle that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, hey, I do like the concept of prayer, but I ain't as good as my man Tom. So you know what I'm saying? So, but I do. Yeah, let's go ahead, take us out, bro.
Thanks. Let's do it, God. We thank you for this conversation, Father. We ask you, God, that the what was said, God, today, God, that it rested on the hearts of your people, God, that watched, God, those who watched the replay. Father, we thank you, God, for the insight, the wisdom, God, and the poor, God, that he poured out on today. We pray, God, that you give him and meet every need, Father, that he stands in need of, God, regarding every client, God, regarding his home, regarding his family, God, that you be God and meet and supply every need. And we thank you for all this now. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Guys, until next time. Listen, I love you. We'll see you guys soon. Listen, if you need mortgage questions again, contact my guy right now.
Absolutely. Hey, I want to thank you. And real quick, Thomas, I really want to thank you for having me, man. Like, this is what I be saying when I say we need to help each other out. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, your crowd, my crowd come together and let's make something happen, man. Yeah, I really enjoyed myself and I can't wait to do it again.
I like it. We'll see you guys soon. Have a great week.
We for it. So when we live, better tap through while you can. Ain't no stopping what's already in the plan. Show be lit from start to end. Tune in. Got what you need, so tune in. Wilson and Wilson weekend. Wilson and Wilson weekends. Wilson and Wilson weekend.